FM Metro will have a freezing rain, wintry mix entering the area tonight, which will produce accumulating ice throughout the Southern Valley. That turns over to snow Thursday morning across the area, mixing in with strong northerly winds gusting up to 40 miles an hour. This all starts to come to an end overnight Thursday with around 3 to 5 inches of snow in the FM Metro and upwards of a foot north and west of the area. From the Skywatch Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Justin Storm.
North Dakota needs strong and effective leaders to help grow our state and local communities. Leadership ND is a program designed by the University of Mary to support those who are ready to answer this call. If you're looking to expand your network and enhance your career, join the University of Mary for the next round of Leadership ND. Apply by October 31st to secure your spot in the 2023 cohort starting in January. To learn more and apply, visit leadershipnd.org.
Live from the PetroServe USA studio, it's the Chris Berg Show, your daily dose of truth to help set you free.
Well, I started the show yesterday saying happy Red Wave Day and then happy Blue Victory Week, and that seems how it may actually be playing out. So maybe I was prescient yesterday, seeing the map maybe better than even I thought I was seeing it. By the way, John, what's the date today?
Today is the 9th.
So it's 11/9. What is that backwards?
9/11.
9/11. That's kind of the vibe I get from a lot of people out there today, is it is a 9/11 situation after watching what happened last night. I mean, I've got a story for you here about John Fetterman, but everyone's asking, like, how can anybody vote for John Fetterman? How in the world is that? Like, I think a better question is, how do you feel today if you're Dr. Oz? You lost to a plant. I mean, if you're Dr. Oz, like, you just moved at the Appalachian Mountains and just never go out in the public again, because that was embarrassing. Not only was it not a red wave, in Minnesota, it was a blue wave. Dr. Scott Jensen, I thought he had a shot, not even close. Jim Schultz can't beat Keith Ellison for the Attorney General spot. And not only that, the Democrats took over the Senate in Minnesota. They regained the Senate in the state of Minnesota. So now the trifecta, they've got the governor position, they've got the House, they've got the Senate. They are going to run ragged over the great state of Minnesota now. And we'll see what that obviously means in this upcoming legislative session. Would love to know your thoughts on a few things. Number one, what happened? I mean, is the Republican leadership just that bad? Were the candidates that bad? A lot of people out there today saying, hey, President Trump should just stay on the sidelines, be a surrogate, not a candidate. Should he run for president? Should he just be a surrogate? Would love to know your point of view on all that and much, much more. It's easy for you to call into the show. The number to do so, 701-271-1100, 701-271-1100. Also, you can text us, which is very easy to do. That's 701-203-2260, 701-203-2260. So should President Trump make the announcement next week that he's in? Is he going to run for president, or would you prefer, after what you saw last night, have him kind of be on the sidelines a little bit? Maybe you go out, raise some money, be a surrogate. A lot of people saying he did not do enough in this election. He sat on a bunch of cash when he should have been using that. For the person that's calling our text line, if you can just text that, please, that would be great. I'm not sure if we can actually pick that up. But the text number, again, if you want to text us, 701-203-2260, 701-203-2260. I guess the other thing, too, I'd like to ask is just, what surprised you last night? Did anything jump out? Did anything surprise you? John, I'll start with you. Anything surprise you last night from what happened, the results?
I would say the Uncle Fetterman. Sorry. I just can't believe anybody voted for him after the way he performed in that debate. I just thought, even if he is on your team, how can you vote for him?
You got a call coming in we want to grab, 701-271-1100. So John just mentioned there that he's surprised at the Pennsylvania U.S. Senate race. I've got an unbelievable soundbite that I did not see until just recently. And one of the things that's really, really important to know is the succession plan, the succession rules for U.S. senators. I'm going to leave it at that for now. We're going to get to it. But when you hear what was communicated by the President of the United States, Joe Biden, in regards to that race, you're going to be like, oh. Because remember, after the debate, I was like, look, there's no way this guy wants to win. You just had a major stroke. You know you're not functioning right. You're reading off tabs and screens. Like, come on, you shouldn't be a U.S. senator. Somebody texted in the show here when I'm asking about President Trump, and this I've been hearing the same thing. So should Trump run, or should he just be a surrogate and sort of be on the sidelines and use his cash? We're going to get to your phone calls here in just a minute as well. If you want to call in, 701-271-1100. If you want to text in, 701-203-2260. Person here says, hey, Chris, earlier today I heard that Trump's endorsement record for last night was 215 wins to 5 losses. Do you have the info on that? I've seen those numbers, but then I will also share with you this, where people are suggesting, hey, he obviously was behind Dr. Oz. That's an L. He was behind Herschel Walker. And if you look at what happened in Georgia, I mean, Kemp and Trump hate each other. In other words, the governor of Georgia and Donald Trump cannot stand each other. Kemp walks away with it. Herschel Walker, who was endorsed by Trump, tied. Now they're going to go into a runoff. Who knows what's going to happen there? We saw what happened last time, and you had Warnock actually beat an incumbent in that runoff election in Georgia in 2020. So Trump supported the gubernatorial Tudor Dixon candidate in Michigan as well. I mean, come on. Who's going to go out? Gretchen Whitmer wouldn't let you go to a store and buy certain kinds of seed, and you're going to vote for that? It's so foreign to many of us. It's hard to even appreciate what happened. I know there's a lot of people suggesting that there was, we'll call it tinkering. There was tinkering going on in the election last night because people are pointing to what Florida and DeSantis did, where they locked down and look, we're going to shut down any of this sort of crazy election stuff. We're going to have poll watchers. Florida locked it down, and you saw great things happen with DeSantis, even in Miami-Dade. Let's get to your phone calls. Again, 701-271-1100. Let's go to James on line 1. James, welcome to the show. What's your point of view?
Is that me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, no, I think was probably this could be very close to the last election we'll ever have. I mean, it's over for us. I mean, I've always been an optimist, but I've also been a realist. I mean, how anybody could possibly even vote for that man in Pennsylvania tells me people just they have no idea what they're doing anymore. It's over. It's done. With those three, they get all 3 chambers. We can't stop them. It's, look at history. All great nations have come to an end, and we're next. No absolute doubt about it.
James, it's hot. I everything in my body doesn't want to agree with you, but I've had several people say similar things to me. I mean, speaking about lack of a red wave, the fact that right now here we are at 4:15 in the afternoon, and McCarthy can't come out with 100% certainty and say, yes, we've got the House. I mean, that is just absolutely stunning. And I sort of made fun of this a while back, a few months ago, when everyone thought, oh my gosh, inflation's at 40-year highs. There's all this crime going on. You've got money going to Ukraine. Like, there's just no way the Democrats can do anything. This is going to be a total red wave. And I said, whoa, wait a second. If anybody can screw this up, it's Kevin McCarthy and Cocaine Mitch. And here we are. 4:15 on the day after Election Day, and Kevin McCarthy cannot stand up with 100% certainty. It looks like they're going to win the House. I get it. But the numbers are not there yet to show a 218 majority in the House. It's just nuts to me. Let's go to the phone line, 701-271-1100. Again, 701-271-1100. Just grab your phone, dial that number, and share your point of view and your thoughts on what happened last night. Should Trump run or not? What happened to this sort of red ripple rather than red wave? And Barb, I'm going to get to the Fetterman thing. The Fetterman thing is so important for you to understand what's going on there. And it's always the, hey, look at my left hand, don't look at my right hand. And then whoosh, the right hand sweeps in. Let's go to Karen on line 2. Karen, welcome to the show. What's your point of view?
Hi, thanks for taking my call. I think what this showed us is the Trump is a kiss of death, okay? And I did vote for him. I'm a supporter of him. But we heard plenty of that and saw plenty of that in the speeches and the, just the speeches, and we saw it in the support and the lack of support. And that's my thought on it, because like you said, what better example could we give than voting for Fetterman? It's kind of like Biden Jr. But yeah, that's what I think, sad but true. So I'm not surprised. And I think what Republicans need to learn from this and take away, if they will, how much Trump is the kiss of death. And that really made a big impact, obviously, on our country and a lot of people. And that's not going away.
No,
You've even seen several candidates saying they do not want him there on the stage with them. They do not want him stumping for them. I mean, perhaps not that openly, but that's been said and done with several candidates.
Karen, thank you for the call. I appreciate you sharing your point of view. Again, if you want to call in, 701-271-1100, 701-271-1100. Is President Trump going to be the kiss of death for people? You look at what happened. I think one of the things you've got to understand is timing is everything. Like, there is reports out there that President Trump was going to get up to the mic recently and announce his 2024 run, and it took his staff to go, whoa. We need to get through these midterms. Like, let's make sure we pick up some seats in the midterms before we start announcing 2024 stuff. I mean, they had to pull him back, and I think it just shows that he just, this desire to always want to be there. And I was talking to a friend of mine earlier today. I said, I think if you just took a blind read of Trump's policies and be like, yeah, love the America First policies, but you've also got to then have a sort of President Reagan-esque way about you. What I mean by that is, you think about President Reagan, he says, look, we can get a lot more done if nobody cares who gets the credit. I don't care. This is about our country and our kids. I don't care who gets the credit. Let's just do what we got to do the right things. And I don't know if President Trump, he wants to get the credit. Clearly, I mean, he's coming out talking about last night's elections and some of the victories that took place when it was a red ripple at best, very far from a red wave. I want to get to the phone lines here. 701-271-1100, 701-271-1100. Larry, welcome to the show. What's your point of view?
Well, Chris, I look at it this way. The U.S. of A. is rapidly going down the road to the ash heap of history. Yesterday's elections proved that the people of this country want rampant inflation. They want unbelievable energy prices. They want the mass slaughter of unborn babies, et cetera, et cetera. And you know who I blame? It's no-fight Republicans like you that want to get along with the communist Democrats.
Larry, I will say this. I think that you're onto something as far as people saying yes to things that just make no sense to many of us. And he's leading me into a place that I was going to get to at some point in the show. We'll go there now. But if you look at the numbers last night, I've got it right here in front of me, CNN exit poll. And this is why I think if there's one thing that you and I need to focus on over the next, not just 4 years, but the next 100 years, it's the education system. When we come back, I'm going to give you the numbers from the exit polls last night. And when you look at the exit polls and the breakdown from the demographics of an age perspective, remember, there was a while ago, I told you there was a recent poll out for college universities across the country. It was over thousands of college students were polled, and they were asked, hey, if you need a way to solve a problem, what's better, capitalism or socialism? Over 50% of the college students polled said that socialism was a better way to solve problems. Number to call in, 701-271-1100, 701-271-1100. Call us now. We'll be right back.
The big election is over, and America will never be the same. Washington is changing, but the big media is also changing. The rise of Newsmax is making a big difference. Newsmax is the fourth highest rated cable news channel in America. Every day and night, I tune into Newsmax for the real news I can trust. I watch Rob Schmidt every night. Rob asks the tough questions the media won't. There's also Greta Van Susteren, Eric Bolling, Sean Spicer, and more. Even President Trump says Newsmax is really good. Next week, President Trump will make a really big announcement. Get the latest about Trump's big announcement. Just text the word rally to 39747. Rally to 39747. Find out the details of Trump's announcement and join Newsmax Trump list. Text rally to 39747. Rally 39747. And remember, millions are switching to Newsmax. I did, and you should too. You'll love it.
Hey everybody, Steve Hallstrom here for Consolidated Communications. A lot of us are finding out right now how hard it can be to work from somewhere other than the office. With your people spread out all over in different locations, turn to Consolidated Communications for a system that works the way you need it to. It's called ProConnect. It can do a ton of things for you. Host a telephone system with the best business features, dedicated bandwidth connection. It works for local, long distance, and internet and data services. It's got unified messaging. It's got voicemail to email, unified communications tool. You can get it on your desktop, your mobile phone, or your tablet. You can use it for just about anything, online meetings, even a virtual conference room. And that means ProConnect, along with Consolidated Communications, keeps your business at its best with a complete cloud and network solution and tech support 24/7, 365. And Consolidated has proven expertise and local support. That's what we love about them. Connecting you better. That's Consolidated Communications. Online at consolidated.com.
Did you know that periodontal disease is the #1 health problem in small animal patients? Hello, I'm Dr. Calderwood, a veterinary dental practitioner at Prairie Winds Veterinary Center. By 2 years of age, 80% of dogs and 70% of cats have some form of periodontal disease. If you notice a change in your pet's playful habits, breath, or facial swelling, there's a chance that your pet is suffering from mouth pain. Prairie Winds Veterinary Center can help. Call us at 701-356-5600 or learn more at prairiewindsvet.com.
70% of your body is water. Does it make any sense to put bad water back into your system for your health? Hi, it's Scott Hennon here from my friends at Lindsay Echo Water. We have a full water treatment system in our home, a reverse osmosis system with mineral add back and a pH boost. It's fantastic. Some people are more worried about what gas they put in their cars rather than the water they drink. Make that a thing of the past for you. LindsayEchoWater.com. LindsayEchoWater.com or call 218-233-8655.
That's what I said now. Princess who adore you. Just go ahead now.
Welcome back to the Chris Berg Show, your daily dose of truth to help set you free. Boy, how free are you feeling today after last night? Fetterman. Who votes for Fetterman? I'm going to share with you what's really going on in the PA race. We want to get to your phone calls. A lot of great calls coming in. Thank you so much, as always, for sharing your point of view here on the show. Number to call in, 701-271-1100. Again, 701-271-1100. Coming to you live from the PetroServe USA studio, helping you and America fuel better. As you're out and about today, please stop into your local PetroServe USA. Let's go to Adele on line one. Adele, welcome to the show. What's your point of view?
I just wanted to thank you for your program because you're a little different. You're local, so rather than some of the other hosts, I appreciate it. And I just want to say I think it comes down to almost as simple as cheating all over again. And those that are being arrested now are the good people, such as they're wrecking the churches, the crisis pregnancy centers, and the pro-life people. And I heard that I think his name is Greg Phillips and Catherine were being arrested, who made 2,000 mules. So everything is turned upside down without our Lord.
Adele, thank you for the phone call. I appreciate it. We said yesterday, I said, look, if nothing else comes out of this election other than we just make Lady Justice blind again, that's a win. That's a win. We've got to make Lady Justice blind again. And she brings up the point. I'm sure you've seen some of the stories. Tucker Carlson's done a great job of covering it, where you had people that were basically peacefully protesting at these abortion clinics, and the FBI shows up and arrests a father. I think it was of 5 or 7 kids. And the big question I would ask you is, did you see Kevin McCarthy, Mitch McConnell, John Thune, anybody from the GOP standing up and saying, hey, wait a second, what's going on here? Like, why are these people getting arrested for peacefully protesting? And like, this is a family. Now, maybe that happened, but I never saw Kevin McCarthy say boo about it. Never saw Mitch. This is what people want. They want you to go out there, and Larry sort of alluded to this, is go out there and fight for the people that are just trying to do the right thing. It's not that hard. These guys are so worried about the New York Times and the Washington Post when they should be worried about you. But there's so much money flowing into their campaigns. They're like, nah, I'll just keep appeasing these guys that can write me big checks, and you'll figure it out. Let's go to Mike on line 2. Mike, welcome to the show. What's your point of view?
Chris Berg, how's your day going?
I'm doing great, my friend. How are you?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, this Fetterman deal, this unbelievable. There's two things. The Fetterman one and the walls in Minnesota.
Yes.
It just blows my mind, like you say all the time.
I mean, in Minnesota, how do you go from, burning down a precinct? You've got big inflation, being locked down, executive orders saying, yeah, I want more of that. I'll take more of that.
Yeah, I want more of that. Please, can we shut off gas in Minnesota and or make prices up to $10, $12 a gallon? Won't that be great?
Mike, I don't understand it. And again, we've got people that are suggesting that maybe the numbers aren't what they say they are, but until that's proven, we've got to go with the numbers as they are. And I think the Twin Cities obviously dictates a large part of Minnesota. Mike, thanks for the call. Number to call into the show, 701-271-1100. If you'd like to share your point of view, we'd love to hear from you, obviously. 701-271-1100. Just your point of view on what happened last night. Maybe everyone was planning on a red wave. It clearly was not that. Larry called in, I want to get to this, and I want to get to the Fetterman piece. And there's stuff locally, too. I mean, I'll just give you a quick taste of what I mean by that, but Congressman Kelly Armstrong obviously crushed it in his race, right? Congressman race across the state. But what's not being talked about, guess who won Cass County? Guess who won Cass County? I've got it here. I put it up on Twitter. Cara Mund. Cara Mund won Cass County last night with 50.9% of the vote. Kelly Armstrong, 48.7%. I think it just speaks to you about where things are at right now in Cass and Clay County. Governor Tim Walz, he won Clay County last night. So I want to get into some of those numbers, but before I do want to touch on this education piece, or what Larry sort of alluded to the problem is, and that is this. Let me just give you a breakdown here. And this is why I've been reaching out to people today. And if all of us could make it our mission, and I know many of us think in terms of, the next 2 years, the next 4 years, I'm talking the next 100 years. Imagine for a moment if you put out a vision for your life, for your legacy of the next 100 years, what that would look like. And if you said, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to dedicate myself to completely changing, completely transforming America's broken education system. And I'll tell you why that's so important. If you look at the exit polling last night, 65 plus, I'm giving you age demographics here, 65 plus across the country, Republicans plus 13. 45 to 64, Republicans plus 11. 30 to 44, Democrat plus 2. 18 to 29, people that are in college, people that have been indoctrinated in this education system. 18 to 29-year-olds, Democrat plus 28. What's the last time you heard about a classroom in America talking about P&Ls, profit and loss statements, cash flow statements, actual financing, personal finance? Very rare. They snow these young people, and they just indoctrinate them because the teachers' unions are so powerful. And then these guys just go out like zombies and vote for somebody like a Fetterman. That's where it's at. That's why if there's one place to focus, I've said this before, it's faith. And the more and more I look at the data and the numbers, it's this education system. We need to develop some form of school choice and education savings accounts across the country so that your money can follow your student, whether that's homeschooling or whatever it is that you want to do, but you've got the money to use it what's best for you and your kid. Let's go to the phone lines here. Number to call in again, 701 271 1100. 701 271 1100. Craig, welcome to the show. What's your point of view, sir?
Well, I think the election is a definite example of how our society has deteriorated. And if you look at a biblical perspective, prophecy is becoming fulfilled as people, their hearts get hardened, and wrong becomes right, right becomes wrong. We are waiting for the Lord's return, and when the Bible talks about deterioration, this is a definite affirmation of that happening. So it's unfortunate.
It is,
we
Craig.
need to look up.
Yeah, thank you for the phone call. And
Thank you.
that's
Do that.
one of the things that kept kind of coming to me today about, okay, so now what? Now what do we do? And I just, what came to me was, be the change you want to see in the world. Be the change you want to see in the world. And if you just took a moment and thought about, like, what if someone handed you just the red words in the Bible, right? Those are obviously Jesus's words. They handed you just the red words in the Bible, and they're like, here's your script. Go play this character. And you had no idea what it was, but go play this character. And you really took that on and started walking around as Jesus through the world. Like, be the change you want to see in the world. I know it's not easy. People are yelling and screaming and doing all these things, but be the change you want to see in the world, I think, could be one of the most powerful things that we could do to start to generate some change. I want to play a little bit of this clip for you. We'll hit this then later in the show. We got a special guest coming up next, but I want to just play this to preview what's going to be coming up in the final segment of the show. This is Joe Biden. I don't have an exact date here, but it's before the election. So he's in Pennsylvania. He's stumping for Fetterman, and listen very closely to what he says here at the end of this clip. This is about Fetterman, U.S. Senate race in Pennsylvania. By the way, Fetterman's wife's name is Giselle. Fetterman's wife's name is Giselle. Listen closely.
There you go. All right. And Lieutenant Governor, I was saying something nice about you. That's why I went out. And but I'm saying we're going to try like the devil to keep you from having
Listen.
having to deciding to leave. I wish you didn't. And John, thank you very much for running. I really do appreciate it. And Zell, you're gonna be a great lady in the Senate.
What? Hey, John, thanks for running, man. I appreciate it. Hey, Giselle, you're going to be awesome in the Senate. Look, the secession rules for a U.S. Senator, at least as far as I've researched up to this point, is that when you become a U.S. Senator and then you're like, you know what, I'm incapacitated, I cannot serve, and you recuse yourself, your spouse can then take that position. Let me repeat that. You show up as a U.S. Senator, you say you're incapacitated, you recuse yourself, your spouse can now take your position. The President of the United States says, hey, Giselle, you're going to be a great, great lady in the Senate. She came to our country as an undocumented immigrant from Brazil. I will hit this more in the final segment because coming up next, we talk about some of the stress that is out there today, people's inability to deal with anxiety, depression, sleep. We get a special guest that may have a solution just for you coming up right after this.
Winter storm warning goes into effect tonight, as well as a blizzard warning north and west of the FM Metro. We'll have a freezing rain, wintry mix entering the area tonight, which will produce accumulating ice throughout the Southern Valley. That turns over to snow Thursday morning across the area, mixing in with strong northerly winds gusting up to 40 miles an hour. This all starts to come to an end overnight Thursday with around 3 to 5 inches of snow in the FM Metro and upwards of a foot north and west of the area. From the Skywatch Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Justin Storm.
Help save our country. Support Mike Lindell in his fight for truth. Hello, friends. I'm Scott Helen from What's on Your Mind radio show. And my friend Mike Lindell is fearless. He never, ever gives up in his battle for election integrity. The least we can do is support him and The products of MyPillow, which are constantly under attack. The good employees of MyPillow.com are under attack. Banks cancel him. Big box stores cancel him. Walmart cancels him. This is what he endures for helping to save our country. Right now, you can get up to 66% off at MyPillow.com when you use the promo code SCOTT. 66% off. No kidding. Now is the time to go to MyPillow.com, promo code SCOTT, or call this telephone number, 800-506-9028. 800-506-9028.
Hey, everybody, it's time for Wednesday Wheels, brought to you by Puckett Chevy Buick GMC in Valley City.
John Zimba here, Puckett in Valley City for Wheels Wednesday. It is a 2019 GMC Sierra 3/4 ton diesel Denali. It was a one-owner vehicle that was traded in, and we did sell it brand new. It's got everything that you could want in it, the heated and cooled seats, the heated steering wheel, the safety alert package, which consists of the forward collision alert, lane keep assist, and lane change alert. It's got 93,536 miles on it. It's got the fifth wheel BMW turnover ball in it already as well. We are selling this one for $59,000.
And you heard him. You'll save hundreds of dollars if you let him know you heard about it on the flag. Stop in at 721 West Main in Valley City. Call 1-800-401-4352 or online at pucklettvalleycity.com. North Dakota's home for Chevy.
Thanks, and have a great day.
For 103 years, Wimmer's Diamonds has been helping you celebrate special moments. Celebrate the precious little addition to your family, celebrate that exceptional achievement, and celebrate love. We invite you to visit us at our inviting new showroom and let us help you find that perfect, beautiful reminder to celebrate your special moments of love. Wimmer's, 4582 32nd Avenue South in Fargo.
Make a difference and jump right in to an incredible and rewarding career at Bethany Retirement Living. We are looking for RNs, LPNs, and CNAs. We offer flexible hours and great pay alongside a fun, knowledgeable team. And don't forget to ask about our student loan bonus program. At Bethany, we know that great people are essential to providing great care. Take the first step and apply online at BethanyND.org and find out how to make your career brighter at Bethany. Reside, relax, rehab. Bethany Retirement Living.
Brr, sounds like winter out there.
Did you just say?
Yep, they sure did, and it's coming. Hi, I'm Matthew, owner of Fix It Forward Auto Care. Winter's on the way, and it's time to get ready, including getting new all-weather tires designed specifically for our icy winter weather. Take advantage of our current rebates and availability, and our team can have you ready for winter today. Fix It Forward Auto Care, the name you trust for car repair.
Fix It Forward Auto Care. 'Cause I am barely breathing, and I can't find the air. Don't know who I'm kidding, imagining you.
Welcome back to the Chris Berg Show, your daily dose of truth to help set you free. Great conversation happening on our live stream. Thanks to Siriset of Fargo, helping people with anxiety, depression, sleepless nights. Maybe a lot of us are just having that sort of despair after last night's election situation. So if you want to be part of that conversation, you can always check us out online. Again, thanks to Siriset of Fargo. Also want to remind you, if you want to email the show, very easy to do, studio@chrisbergshow.com. Again, studio@chrisbergshow.com. Red Wing Shoes sponsoring our studio email inbox. If you're someone out there working hard, you're in a blue-collar gig, and you're like, look, I can't stand my feet. They're just screaming at me all the time because I'm working so hard, these boots. Go see Laura at 3003 Main Avenue in Fargo. She can customize your work boots, so your feet are going to love you while you're out there working hard and keeping America and the trains on time. Again, that's 3003 Main Avenue in Fargo. Red Wing Shoes. I mentioned ago, Siriset sponsors our live stream that we get the chance to do every single day. Always great conversations happening there on the live stream. And we've got a couple of special guests with us today. Dr. Alla from Siriset, also Laura Job, who works there, does a great job. And Laura actually ran for a seat in the election last night. So Laura, I haven't seen all the results, but it sounds like you were a winner. So if you want to fill in our audience and what you ran for and what the results were, that would be great.
Well, hello, Chris. Great to be on your show. I ran for city council
in Fergus Falls, Ward 1. And yeah, it was victorious last night. It was awesome. And I had, 60% of the votes in Ward 1. So it was awesome. It was wonderful. Great experience.
Congratulations. And I know you're super busy at Siriset, and yet you're running for a city council gig. So I'm presuming that your experience and utilization of Siriset helped you think clearly, no anxiety, and say, hey, I can manage my job and an election and go run and win. Yes?
Right. I'm going to say that Siriset kind of pushed me to run, right? Because it gave me that extra energy and that momentum that I was, needing throughout this. It was great. I did a couple of sessions, throughout the campaigning process, and really it helped me just manage the stress and excitement and maybe uncertainty that anybody is going to go throughout their life. But, during that campaign time that I had, and it helped me literally continue to have great, phenomenal sleep. I wasn't up in the middle of the night stressing over things. I literally was able to rest and get up in the morning and do it all over again.
I think the big question people have is how. How does Siriset, and I guess I want to get to, there's so many people right now, especially you look at what happened last night. I think a lot of people, at least more locally, thought, hey, there's going to be this big red wave. There's going to be a shift in, energy prices and inflation and crime and all the things that have been happening that at least the circles I run in causes a lot of stress for people. And then they see what happened last night, oh, okay, there's probably going to be more of the same, which only adds to their stress and lack of sleepless nights. How does Siriset help people with that?
Well, when you sit in that chair and you literally are able to let what's happening outside of that room go, even if you're there for an hour and you sit in that chair, it brings you that calming peace, helps you kind of gather yourself again, so that when you open that door and get back out into that world, the ability to manage everything that's coming at you is just so much more even. And how we provide that is through the acoustic mirror of the brain. It's tones. It's engineered tones that you're listening to. I know it sounds different, sounds out there. You're listening to your own brain, and your brain has that innate ability to recognize itself in that acoustic mirror, recognizes that, all right, I have changes to make, and it'll do it.
Laura, last time I was in, you and I had a chance to have a great conversation, and you mentioned to me, Chris, we've had an inordinate amount of parents calling in on behalf of their kids. And what you suggested to me, and I just want you to sort of dive into this problem that you're helping parents solve, is that there's been so much stress because of the changes in education for kids due to COVID and what's taken place, that a lot of parents were sort of, I don't want to say being forced, but suggested to medicate. And they're like, wait, I'm seeing all these sort of ancillary negative things happen as I'm having my son or daughter pop these pills. And these were, teens, early 20s. What's going on there? What are these parents saying to you, and why are they reaching out to you?
Kids are very distressed right now. They're feeling anxious. They're getting depressed. It's been a tough couple of years. And, we've all been dealing with the last 2 years, right? I mean, all of us have been affected in one way or another. Our kids were greatly affected, and parents come to that point where either their kid is asking for help or they're realizing that something's not quite right. And we get into that rescue response, which is okay. But now I'm seeing a lot of kids who are coming in with medication and they're not finding any help with it. And they come in and they do our Siriset sessions, and they can start to feel like, all right, I can manage my day-to-day, school activity. I can start managing day-to-day life again, which is huge. And working with their healthcare provider, they can start getting themselves, moved off or titrating on those medications. But yeah, it's been a big increase of parents seeking out help for their kids in many different ages, many.
This is a really, I'm assuming, naive question, but like, what kind of medications are these kids on?
You know, I've seen a lot of anti-anxiety medications and depression medications. Those would be the big ones that we see.
And you're
Yeah.
talking what, 13, 14, 15 years old?
Yeah, I've seen some as young as that. And then, you know, into their early 20s, you know, in college, and parents are concerned, you know, with them being away at college and the stress that they're under. So yeah, you know, like I said, these last couple of years have affected us all in one way or another. They've really affected our children.
But I bring this up because I'm presuming the brain's not fully developed at the age of 14, 15, 16. And yet here we are putting these young minds, young brains on big pharma. It's got to have, I'm presuming,
Mhm.
long-term negative effects if they stay on them, or even short-term negative effects. Yes or no?
Right. You know, and I encourage all of our clients that come in, because we have our questions we go through. And one of those questions, you know, we go through medications. And I always encourage our clients, you know, make sure that you address this with your healthcare provider as to the long-term use of this and when is your stop time frame for this. I always encourage our clients to keep that open communication with their healthcare provider so that they do have a stop date in mind, so that it doesn't become an extreme long-term medication for them.
Well, thank you for what you're doing, obviously, to help out the younger generation. We were just talking about the Gen Zs and how they actually flipped or had a big impact on the election last night. And so, Dr. All, I want to give you a chance. I want to give you the last word. Anything else you want to add or share? And how can people reach out to you and get a chance to visit with you?
Yeah, you know what, Chris, I appreciate you always having these great conversations. The brain is an amazing, majestic organ that we are maybe pushing to its limits, and we're pushing it with the stressors that we live through. We take on more than we probably can chew up and swallow. And then we add to the mix a lot of drugs, whether it's alcohol, whether it's marijuana, and or whether it's a combination of prescription drugs. My recommendation for everyone and anyone is go back to the basics. You know what? Decide how much you're going to take on as an individual. Make sure you check those kiddos and make sure that you never stress your children out. And I'm a parent and I do it unintentionally. And I recognize that if we can reduce the amount of stress about the things that don't matter, I think that we're going to have a much better chance to really bring our country back, not only as a nation that's great, but also all of the participants that want to make this nation great and also have an amazing journey while they're here on this earth.
You know, you bring up an interesting point when you talk about the stress piece. When people are stressed out, they got a very short fuse. And so I think that's adding to some of this tumultuous things that are happening within the country. Because everybody, where you go, everyone's got a little bit of testiness to them. There's a little bit shorter fuse maybe than in the past. And I think a lot of that is just this anxiety and what's been happening as far as the conversation in our nation, and the media, even though I'm a part of it, you know, typically doesn't help. So Dr. Alla, Laura, thank you so much for the time, the insight. If you want to find out more, just give them a shout. It's Siriset of Fargo. That's 701-566-5231. Again, 701-566-5231. When we come back, I want to get back to where we dropped off with this Fetterman conversation and Joe Biden, plus your phone calls and your emails coming up right after this.
Welton's Tire Service remembers and salutes all veterans who have served and those who continue to serve. Thank you for your service and sacrifice. Happy Veterans Day and God bless you. From your friends at Welton's Tire Service in Lisbon.
If you've had COVID-19 or some strain of it, you've most likely experienced cognitive dysfunction, otherwise known as brain fog. Hi, I'm Dr. Alla with Siriset, and I'm here to tell you that it is real. Brain fog isn't a medical or scientific term. It's a term used by individuals to describe how they feel after COVID. Sluggish, fuzzy, downright exhausted. For some, the brain fog lasts up to 8 months. Siriset has helped others, and we can help you. Siriset, relax, rebalance, reset.
Do you have money in the bank or the stock market? Do you check the balance often?
why wouldn't you do the same for your biggest asset, your home? If you want to know right now what you could sell your home for in this hot market, go to FargoHomeValues.com. Type in any address and find out instantly. You might be surprised how much you could get for your home. Again, that website is FargoHomeValues.com, or call me, John Nosala, for a personal valuation. Find out more at jkpropertypartners.com.
Jerry Breyer is here, the generous one from Gold Silver Exchange Grand Forks. Let's talk about why precious metals are so very valuable right now.
Well, many financial advisors are recommending that we buy gold and silver now. And with all the advertising you see on TV with the gold and silver, we can match and beat any of those prices. We recommend to load up on silver and gold while there's a good supply. At some point, the supply is going to get very short. And if you're not here early, you may have to be on a waiting list for some time, like we were the last time in 2011 and 12.
Call Jerry and his team. They can be trusted. You don't want to be dealing with somebody you don't know over the phone, from a TV commercial. Give them a call, 701-746-9952, or online too at Gold Silver Exchange. Tell them Scott sent you to Gold Silver Exchange Grand Forks.
Food, football, and fun in the fall. Tailgaters brings it all together with their all-you-can-eat lunch buffet from 11 to 2 weekdays, or dinner and an ice-cold beverage after work. Tailgaters is the place. There's no better place to watch football on Saturday and Sunday. Each game day, get their never-frozen, fresh-made half-pound burgers with fries for just $10.99. Domestic pints and bottles just $4, and live music every Friday night at 7. This week, Jim White plays at Tailgaters, corner of Main and University, downtown Fargo.
Welton's Tire Service remembers and salutes all veterans who have served and those who continue to serve. Thank you for your service and sacrifice. Happy Veterans Day and God bless you. From your friends at Welton's Tire Service in Lisbon.
Put your arms around me, baby. Put your arms around me, baby. I just wanna fly. Put your arms around me.
Welcome back to the Chris Berg Show, your daily dose of truth to help set you free. Coming to you live from the PetroServe USA studio, helping you and America fuel better. I want to remind you, as you're heading home from work today, please, if you're driving by the Harwood store there, the Amazon Fulfillment Center, stop into the brand new PetroServe USA Harwood store. It's big. It's beautiful. We got a big, beautiful announcement coming up. You can stop in there. And they've also got the Cafe USA, so you can fill up your gas tank and your belly at the same time with some good burgers, and just there's always a good fresh food at the PetroServe USA. All right, lots to discuss here. Love to have you call into the show if you want to share your point of view. We got emails coming in, number 701-271-1100, 701-271-1100. This was just tweeted out. I forgot to mention that President Joe Biden did speak earlier today addressing the results from last night. I mean, the guy's polling is not good, right? I think it was, 40% approval rating. Not good polling for a president of the United States. He defies the history. Again, that's why I think you've got people suggesting that there's tinkering going on in the election, because he defied history. He should have lost more seats both in the House and the Senate. That hasn't bared out to be true yet. I mean, here we are again at 4:54 in the next day, and we still cannot call the House when everyone thought, oh, this is going to be a red wave. It was a red trickle at best. My point here that I want to get to is that from the press conference earlier today, you think about what Bill Clinton did, right? Because Joe Biden did suggest he's thinking about running again in 2024. He did suggest that today. So you think about Bill Clinton says, okay, I probably need to moderate a little bit. Things didn't go as well as I'd like. Here's what Joe Biden had to say earlier today.
What in the next 2 years do you intend to do differently to change people's opinion of the direction of the country, particularly as you contemplate a run for president in 2024?
Nothing.
Are you kidding me? He's gonna change Nothing. He's going to continue with the EV conversation, soaring oil prices and gas prices. What were you going to say, John?
Everything he says, I swear, he has to hold back from finishing it with, what are you going to do about it? Nothing. What are you going to do about it?
Yeah, and I think that's where he stands right now, right? I mean, they may actually control the Senate again. Now, the House, it looks like it's going to go to the GOP. I don't know how big of a margin it's going to be, but it's just fascinating to watch this guy. I don't know. I'm going to leave it there, but a lot of great emails coming in as well. Chris says, hey, we're in this mess as a country because of the polished politeness of the political establishment and their speeches for years. People don't want to hear it, and I really don't care. Look at what Trump has exposed. People need to grow a pair and let this man finish the job that he started. You're never going to get rid of these rhinos or this corrupt Department of Justice or these corrupt leaders unless you have a real leader take care of it. Okay, totally agree. Now, can you just, let's be honest. Let's just have a real honest conversation. Raise your hand, and I know I can't see you, but raise your hand if you really honestly believe that Joe Biden is running the country. Okay, nobody raised your hand. I can't see you, but I know you didn't raise your hand. There's no way that Joe Biden is really running the country. So who's doing it? You may remember an interview with President Barack Obama, and it was one of the late night guys. I'm thinking of, he's on CBS now. Can't think of his name, but he's and Barack Obama said, he goes, do you have the name, John?
I think, wasn't it Steve Colbert?
Steve Colbert, thank you. And Obama's like, gosh, if I could do it all over again, he's like, man, I'd love to just kind of sit in a room, sit in my sweatpants and have an earpiece in a dude's ear and just tell him what to say. Like, that would be amazing. I bring all that up because I think if you took President Trump's America's First policies and they just weren't President Trump packaged as him, everyone's going to vote for that. That's going to finish the job. The big problem here, Ron, is that if it's packaged in the same face and body as Orange Man bad, because that's what they've done. I'm not saying it's true, but that's what they've done. He's not going to win, and then we don't see these changes. So you've got to find somebody that's got a titanium spine that is willing to say, okay, what are these policies? And maybe that's DeSantis. I don't know. And let them just get after it and let Trump kind of maybe be the puppeteer, if you will, right? Like run the show, tell guys what to be doing, but he's not, I don't know if he's going to win as the front person. They also said, hey, look what they're doing to Carrie Lake. They're throwing everything but the kitchen sink at her, and I'm sure that will come soon enough, and she's not backing off. You need the Trumps and the Carrie Lakes now to deal with this garbage once and for all. Get behind them. Look at what China's doing to this country. They've taken us over. We don't have strong leadership. It's time that we do. Now, that I completely agree with. I mean, a lot of these guys are so spineless. It's like the New York Times says one bad word about him, and they're just like, oh, my gosh, I can't do this. Dan says Democrat voters voted their wallets Tuesday. There are more takers than givers in the United States now. It's interesting. I am embarrassed I didn't think about this when I first was giving you the numbers, but it's coming back to me now as this is a great email here from Dan. But a while ago when I mentioned to you the breakdown on the demographics, right? So 18 to 29, Democrats plus 28. Why would that be plus 28 for people 18 to 29, John? Quick guess. How about go ahead.
I don't know.
The loan forgiveness program. Hey, you're going to forgive my loans?
Yeah.
Dude, I'll vote for that, bro.
Yep.
That was a totally political move, and SCOTUS is doing nothing about it up to this point. All right, big storm. Thank you for all the phone calls today. We appreciate you sharing your point of view, the emails as well. Big storm coming in. We'll have all that and much, much more for you tomorrow right here on The Chris Berg Show. I love you. Have a great day.